This is a mock interview conducted by ForumIAS Academy at New Delhi. The interview panel includes eminent academicians, retired bureaucrats, and other luminaries. The objective of the program is to acquaint the candidate with the format and expectations of the personality test conducted by UPSC.
Excuse me, sirs.
Yes, please.
Good afternoon, sirs.
Good afternoon. Please have a seat. Anugraha, you come from Chennai, Tamil Nadu,
That's right, sir.
and you are taken law,
Yes, sir.
and otherwise also you had done your BA and BL. What is BL?
So, Bachelorate of Law.
It's a bachelor's of LLB.
Yes, sir.
All right, okay. And then you passed out your LLB or bachelor's of law in 16.
Yes, sir.
What are you doing thereafter?
Sir, I'm a lawyer by profession. I was working on and off to be financially independent alongside my UPSC preparation, sir.
But Anugraha,
Yes, sir.
law is a wonderful career and people make a whole lot of money. Why do you want to get into the civil services where you will be paid only a very small amount of money?
So, law is a wonderful career. Like, I agree with it. But civil services offers you a bigger platform to reach out to people directly, sir, which is not the case in law. It's very restricted to a particular segment of the population, whereas civil services, it's quite wide. So, I think this is a better choice to reach out.
Kapil Sibal was a civil servant. He got into civil services, but he did not join civil services and became a lawyer of first order. He earns a lot of money. He carries much more status than any other civil servant.
So I think he denied IAS because of personal reasons, because I suppose he was inquired about this play he had put about Naxalism. So it was
Not
very,
that happens in many cases. It doesn't matter very much. When you
So I think
go
it's-
for police verification,
Yes.
they'll give all kinds of reasoning, things like that. It doesn't matter very much.
yes.
And his own brother was in the foreign service.
I think it's subjective, sir. Maybe it worked for him. Maybe I'll try what works for me in civil services.
You have written civil service examination, and this is your 5th attempt.
Yes, sir.
Why couldn't you make it to the civil services till date?
Sir, I did get 580 rank in my 3rd attempt, but then I was aiming for the foreign service, so I didn't take the offer, sir.
So, what services were being offered at that point of time?
So I gave only 7 preferences that time. Now I have expanded my scope to, after inquiring about
That time you had given only a foreign service,
Yes, no, sir. I gave 7 services.
7
Like
services.
Yes, sir.
and you are not offered any of those seven services
Yes, sir.
which you opted for.
Yes, sir.
All right. I find that you are given foreign service as number 1, like Kapil Sibal's brother. All right. Why are you interested in foreign service and not in the Indian administrative service?
Sir, I've always been inclined towards international law, international affairs, and law. So it's a matter of interest, sir. I thought I'd be able to cater to my intellectual depth more. So that's why I preferred foreign service.
So when you said that you had qualified the civil services and you were offered some services but not the service of your choice. So, but that happened only once or twice or thrice because this is your 5th attempt.
Yes, sir. I cleared it only once, sir, in my
Once.
3rd attempt.
So why couldn't you make it in other attempts?
Sir, I think I lacked consistency, sir. Like I was hustling with my legal profession as well. So I think I lacked consistency.
But law is your subject, and if you are practicing law, that goes in your favor.
No, sir. I think civil services requires perseverance, persistence, and consistency. Like anything you miss out on, I don't. It's quite difficult.
Since you are insisting for the civil service, let me ask you:
Yes, sir.
what are the 2 most attributes of a good civil servant, especially say IAS or the foreign service? In your opinion, what are the 2 most important attributes of an IAS or an IFS officer?
So aptitude and integrity is the foremost qualities. They're most, like the first one I would go with aptitude and integrity. And secondly, since we're dealing with public directly, I think ability to perceive the problems on the ground level and to respond efficiently. Policy making, sitting in an ivory tower will never work in civil services. So you should be able to connect with the people, perceive the problems, and
So
bring
you
about
have got
changes.
the pulse of the people, and that's why we are trained in villages and thereafter at the block level and then at the sea level. That is only to get the pulse of the people. But once the pulse of the people means that, as you say, that you should be able to understand their expectation and aspiration. That's fine. But what else is required for a civil servant to be successful? What is the main function of a civil servant? He is not supposed or she is not supposed to be an expert of a particular subject.
No, exactly, sir. That's
Yes. So what does he do, or what does she do?
aptitude and skill to solve the problem. So that's what I mentioned first, if I'm not wrong.
All right. Thank you very much,
Thank you, sir.
Anugraha. I'll request my colleague to take over.
Anugraha,
Yes, sir.
since you have done law, tell me something. Recently, Supreme Court had issued a notice to center and 5 different states regarding the appointment of deputy speaker. So, what is the constitutional provision in this regard?
I don't remember the article, sir, but deputy speaker is supposed to be elected by the members of that particular house or the legislature as such after the election of the speaker. This has been vacant for so many years, and that is the piece of contention.
Right. Now that Supreme Court, that is judiciary, has ventured into the area of legislatures, right?
Yes.
Can we call it a breach of privilege case? So to say, can Speaker of the Lok Sabha initiate the proceeding of breach of privilege against these judges who have given this directive?
I don't think so, sir, because the oath of office of the judges and the members of the judiciary is to uphold the constitution. And since the appointment of speaker and the election as such is a constitutional mandate, the judiciary interfering in this issue is just keeping up the mandate. I don't think it's a case of judicial overreach, sir.
Are you aware of any such case happened in the past where speaker had summoned judges on the similar matter or on the account of breach of privilege?
Yes, sir. Sharma versus Sinha case, the Searchlight case, the Blitz case, where
A
there
similar
was
case had happened in Uttar Pradesh, where Chief Justice of Allahabad High Court was summoned
yes, sir.
on the similar matter of the breach of privilege case. Right? Read about it and then frame your opinion why this should not be taken as a breach of privilege case. Okay, let's go to the next question. What is Bilkis Bano case?
So Bilkis Bano case is the Gujarat riots case where they were convicted for the gang rape which happened during the Gujarat riots, and then recently they were pardoned by the Gujarat governor, which was being contested.
Those convicts were released by state government.
Yes, sir.
Now Bilkis Bano approached Supreme Court, the review petition, but that review petition was rejected by Honorable Supreme Court. So what was her petition and why was it rejected?
So the petition primarily focused on the powers of the Gujarat governor to release the convicts, because the provisions say that the court which pronounced a judgment, the governor of that state has the power to do so, sir.
Is it the provision?
Yes, sir.
So in that case, the proceeding had happened in Maharashtra, not in Gujarat.
That's right, sir.
So ideally, whatever Bilkis Bano was saying was right.
The provision says so, sir, but I'm looking forward
No,
to the
that
wisdom
is
of the
not
court.
exactly the provision. It was shifted to Maharashtra on the safety, to ensure the safety of Bilkis Bano. Now tell me, there are huge uproar related to release of those 11 convicts. Was that a prerogative of the government of Gujarat, or there is any set procedure to be followed before releasing of convicts?
So it is governed by Article 172 in case of President and 161 in case of Governor, sir. And the Governor is always bound by the aid and advice of the government. So in case the CM and his executive, the Cabinet Minister.
So it's a prerogative of the government. That's what
Yes,
you're saying.
that's right.
So there is no other procedure.
But there are
I mean, established
precedents.
procedure. What steps to be followed?
So, but there are precedents in the case. There have been court judgments which said in case of life.
You got to read about it. There are 5 steps,
Okay, sir.
5 points that is to be followed.
Okay.
Recently, our External Affairs Minister said that blood is thicker than water. He was talking related to India's efforts to rescue Sri Lanka,
Okay, sir.
right? So now, when you are saying blood is thicker than water, then ideally India shouldn't India be helping Pakistan than Sri Lanka? Is
Fair argument, sir. I would agree, but I don't think they'll accept the help. That was the glitch there.
Can
sir.
this argument be given for Sri Lanka? Forget about Pakistan. Can this argument be given for Sri Lanka that blood is thicker than water?
Of course,
That's why.
sir. I'm from Tamil Nadu. I think our cultural roots.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Hello, Anugraha.
Hello, sir.
Now, on similar lines, IMF also introduced some conditions for Pakistan
Okay.
for giving help. Can you name some of those conditions which IMF has tried to impose?
So I know there was a condition of bailout from some other country, like China offered help in this case. I'm not aware of the
IMF
other
has
condition.
given 5 conditions to Pakistan for financial help.
I'm not aware of it, sir. I'll
Okay,
read.
all right. Now, recently, the G20 meetings of foreign ministers happened.
Yes,
right?
sir.
What was the joint statement saying about that?
So we could not agree on common terms with respect to Ukraine because the Russian-Ukraine war, because there were differences, of course.
So there was no joint statement.
Yes, so the
Was there a
communique
joint
was.
statement given by Quad?
I think, yeah, I'm not sure, sir.
Okay. Now you have an interest in behavioral economics.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me what do you understand by nudge theory?
So nudge theory was put forward by Mr. Richard Taylor, who also happens to be a Nobel laureate. Nudge is where through indirect methods you influence people, humans in general, to act in a particular way without being direct, sir. For example, there are many schemes all over the world and in India also. For example, we have the midday meal scheme where we were able to increase the enrollment rate in
On
primary
that note
education.
only, few years, I don't remember the year, but Economic Survey quoted the nudge theory, right?
Yes.
What were the few steps which the Economic Survey talked about? By using nudge theory, how can we promote development?
Sir, we can shift to social capital, sir, using a nudge theory. I think the same economic survey, they talked about Swachh Bharat Abhiyan also, which is an excellent example of nudge. And also Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao scheme.
Can you apply nudge theory to solve the traffic problem?
Yes, sir, very much. If you think about it, we can very much.
Can you think of a solution? If I tell you to solve the problem of traffic on this particular red light, how will you use nudge theory to solve the problem?
So we did, I think the Delhi government did come out, sir, in fact, to control pollution, they had this number plate system.
No, on traffic on a particular red light, how will you use nudge theory to solve the congestion of traffic on that particular?
So
I want you to apply your brain
to
on this.
stop violations, is that what you're
just
asking?
the congestion. Resolve the congestion.
We can ask people to wake up early in the morning and bring out incentives for that, sir, so that you can have time. For example, if school children are going if the school opens at 9 o'clock, we can ask the school, we cannot force children to wake up early in the morning, whereas it can be the case with office goers.
That is applicable for throughout Delhi, right? You are solving the problem throughout Delhi. I am telling you to solve the problem on a particular red light.
I need more details, sir. I need details about the locality so that I can approach them in a better way.
Okay, all right. Ignore it. All right, thank you.
If I say that there never was a good war or a bad peace, what do you make of this statement?
That war is futile, sir. And it's of no good to anyone. It should be disbanded altogether.
Every war
No
is
good
bad.
can come out of war.
What about the American Civil War then?
Maybe the terming is right, sir. We shouldn't name it American Civil War. We can rather name it a revolution is a good word, sir. Maybe it's revolution against slavery.
That was a revolution.
We can name it that way, sir. I mean, I perceive revolution to be a positive thing.
President was the part of revolution. What were the reasons behind the American Civil War?
So for American Civil War, sir. So American Civil War is against the slavery system, it's North and the South.
What are the reasons? Slavery, though. Abraham Lincoln said that if I can save the Union without freeing the slaves, I will do that. What were the other reasons behind the American Civil War?
I'm not aware.
Okay. See, when I see it, the criminal justice system
Yes, sir.
appears to be lacking the deterrence effect with respect to criminals. They are working with impunity and brazenness. What is the reason for that, to your mind?
So that is true, sir.
Yes.
But I don't think we can discard the deterrence theory. I mean, it works to an effect. There is a fear factor which is being imposed because of the
First you said that
punishments.
it is true. Then you said that it is not true. What is your opinion?
I mean, we cannot make a blanket statement like that, sir.
I'm
It
not
does
making a
work to
blanket
an extent.
statement. I'm saying that the deterrence effect there should be. It is not there ideally. Huh?
Not 100%. I mean, it's not possible in any policy. Like, even if we bring out an alternate policy, like say we go for the reformative system, where we
So
are,
let's put it this way. How can we improve our criminal justice system?
we should concentrate on lower judiciary, sir. Firstly, and police public relations, I think it's not up to the mark as we idealized it to be. For example, there's no use of ICT at all. Like very minimal
There are
levels.
plethora of penal laws.
Yes.
But still criminals are working with impunity, brazenness, no fear of law. Why?
There are various aspects.
Certainty of punishment is lacking.
Okay.
Trials go on forever. Can you tell me the role of governor in a federal polity?
So the governor has a dual role, sir. He's a representative of the center in the state and is also the executive head in the state. Like he has the mandate to look into the executive affairs inside the state and also interact with the state. So it's a dual role. And then he has to uphold the constitutional principles with respect to the state government. That is also a mandate under the
If you
constitution.
have to change one thing with respect to the position of governor, what will that be?
I will implement the Sabkariya committee
Very good.
reports.
And what recommendations in particular?
With respect to governor coming from outside the state, consulting with the chief minister, fixed term for the governor without constant transfer, and if possible, not Sabkariya committee report, sir. I would give a cooling off period, and no promotion, like no beneficial posts after the governorship.
So my last question to you is, what is your opinion about women in active combat role?
So it's very much, it should be welcomed, sir.
Okay.
We are
So why
past
are there
that
so
era.
many apprehensions, so much debate going around this issue?
So I think it's all gender stereotyping, sir, which should be disregarded. I mean, I understand the concerns. For example, in case of torture, like if they get caught in cross-boundary conflict or something. But then we're past that era, sir. I think we should just go forward.
Okay, very good. Thank you. I'll now pass on to the Honorable Chair. Anugraha, yeah, I agree with all the members. Just that since you have opted for foreign service as your first preference, as sir said, you would like to read something about those. Like Israel question, you were a little not aware about, and also in this water treaty.
Okay.
And be proud of your democracy. It's a good argument for UNSC.
Okay.
And I wanted to ask you about the low representation of women in higher judiciary. Maybe we'll get this question there because you're from law background. So you might want to read about it.
Okay.
That's all.
Sure.